Plot. Heard him sneaking in, so we just ran in the spot. And then we spin the block around just like the hand on the clock. Are you irresponsible without your money or not? Thought he had a plan, but we gon' foil his plot. Heard him sneaking in, so we just ran in the spot. And then we spin the block around just like the hands on the clock. Come like a bat of the hell, I dare you to cross like a reverend. And my energy paralyzed, I'm like I'm finger 11. Take a second, I'm finna send it like a parent a message. You the best, if it ain't me, then you need you a confession. You a mess, you ain't scary to me. Heard you was a leader, but that ain't apparent to me. Put dust on you like cheetah, run up there, I'm there in the scene. And I feel just like Vegeta Prince, and I'm an heir to the sea. I mean, for real. Touch the driver's soft, so I don't even grab the wheel. That's on my chest, but it don't mean the man is stealing. Mean I'm walking with some money, man, I mean a couple mil. Ew, think you need a meal. You ain't even eating while I'm feasting in the field. That's why I'm always cheesing, cause I feel like Uncle Phil. And all this losers think the freshman ain't half the man as well. Are you irresponsible without your money or not? Thought he had a plan, but we gon' foil.
Menu narration option is set to off.
And then we spin the block around just like the hands on the clock. Are you irresponsible without your money or not? Thought he had a plan, but we gon' foil his plot. Heard him sneaking in, so we just ran in the spot. And then we spin the block around just like the hands on the clock. Just like the hands on the clock, I go back to back when I'm doing numbers. All the mad that I'm driving the bus, so they threw me under. Heard they mad, they don't wanna fuss, so they boo each other. Think that they're the winning team, go losing, then they choose another. And that's okay, cause I'm competing with me, not you. I live with blessings like I can't stop sneezing, not you. I hate to break about me and my self-talk too. I blow away the competition like a bowl of hot soup. And there's no catch, I go and get the bag and I'm not bringing it back. I'm like a down QB, I put the pain in the past. And if you ever had a problem, promise I didn't ask. So it's 444 in the car, my dash. I shake a big, told them all, you ain't first, you last. Little boy, that's facts, I'ma throw that cash to my money. You know what, let me stop.
That's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Coming for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drill. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Yeah, this the winning team. 6 rings with a pinky ring. Everybody used to pick at me, now I'm the one that they picking. Snakes out, they hit scene, but I can't hear when the crowd screams. Still balling like an offspring. This for all the ones that doubted me. Gotta lose once to be a true winner. Only want the hunters with the blues in it. Eating blood across it where the blood thinner. Just stay turned like, you know. I've been through that water like Olympic swimmers. Only bread and butter, what we ate for dinner. So I had to dream it till the dream is bigger. Only want the gold, we don't need the silver. Gotta be number 1, number 2 never count. Used to have bubble guts competition, now point them out. Making my baby my mama a house. Coming straight out the south, got enough juice to end the drought. Yeah. I buy like 23. Won't fall again and I put that on me. Yeah. I feel the way, my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah. That's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Coming for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that split, did that drill. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Reaching my goals, the game, I go win like I'm trained. I'm prepared for the rain, they amazed. I ain't break from the sticks and stones they threw. Anything that you can do, I can do it better than you. No matter what I do, achieve, still got something to prove. I spent the check on the diamond cross, but still ain't paid my dues. Gotta be number one, number two never count. Used to have bubble guts competition, now point them out. Making my babies proud, wanna cop my mama a house. Coming straight out the south, got enough juice to end the drought. Yeah, I buy like 23. Won't fall again and I put that on me. Yeah, I feel the way, my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah, that's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Coming for the win.
Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction of the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is Tony Pollard. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. That holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Here's McDonald to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up 2nd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
TJ Green.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
On the return is Peterson. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 38. Off play action, he'll throw to start the drive. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Throwing is Murray on third down. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
First down, Arizona.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Murray. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
He's brought down at the 15.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They go play action with McDonald. They'll roll him. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Credit the sack there to Chandler Jones. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Trying to cover Cooper there a little too closely.
And he's such a tough cover because he runs his route so well. Hard to stay with him and hard to figure out exactly where the break points are. And in this case, he created another pass interference call.
Throwing on 1st down. McDonald got an open man, the tight end Jarwin. Give him 6 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Play action. It's McDonald. Eluding the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
To throw on 3rd down. McDonald. That one complete to Elliott. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy 1st down. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. No score after 1 on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, McDonald, they'll set up the screen to Elliott. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
39-yard line.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's McDonald. Maybe he hits him in stride. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 11 yards there, 1st down. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's McDonald off of the play fake. Looking for Cooper, that's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
4th and 1.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Running with Elliott. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. So 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Now Elliott. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. A quick toss outright. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment.
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. What did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
At the 46-yard line.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
On 2nd and 9, Murray being chased out left. Going deep for Hopkins. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
Incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Hauled in downfield. Touchdown, Cardinals. Max Williams, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded in the end zone. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Off play action. McDonald. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. TJ Green with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception. Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Murray going to try to throw on third down. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Flushed out right. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Murray. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's third down. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
This is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The tight end, Max Williams, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Murray. He finds Hopkins complete. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys' side of the field. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Arizona.
We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse.
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Kenyon Drake with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. 4 to start the half.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McDonald. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know that we've seen their share of struggles, and the quarterback's been hit a few times in this game, but this one can't be put on the offensive line. They gave him plenty of time to throw the football. I think ultimately he has to be a lot more decisive in his decision-making and get rid of it and find an open target.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And not his best effort there, as this one's going to be spotted down just outside of the 40-yard line.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. To throw, it's Murray. It's complete to Hopkins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
A gain of
a good pickup there, a 22.
Arizona.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Murray again, this is straight. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Give. This is Drake. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. A long ways to go here on 2nd down. Here's Murray. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The rookie Jeff Gladney picks it. And brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, you were backed up into a 2nd and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. McDonald. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And that will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Gain of 2 yards.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Emerson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, McDonald. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Give them the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time. What's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. On 1st down, McDonald under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
See what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Off the play fake. McDonald. Cooper's got it. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw on second down. McDonald. His throw is going to be incomplete. The rookie CeeDee Lamb, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Cowboys on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, McDonald. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And for the 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. 4th quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
And a Cardinal 1st down.
On 1st down, Drake. There he goes again. He's at the 30. And down to the 7-yard line.
Kenyon Drake.
A huge play there for Arizona. 48 yards on the ground.
At the 7-yard line.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They hand off to their big tight end. And they'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Dan Arnold, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will make it into the end zone. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here this 4th quarter. Corey Peters there to bring him down.
Gain on the play. 2nd.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 3rd down, McDonald. Open man Lamb, it's complete. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, 77 yards. And the Cowboys get a bit closer.
The Cowboys will line up.
Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
3-yard pickup.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Anthony Barr, and he will take it on out to the 20-yard line. In all likelihood, this ball game's still over. I mean, even with the interception, 2-score game, they need a miracle.
Curious decision to even throw the ball in that situation, but maybe they saw a stacked line of scrimmage and said, hey, it's better to try and throw than to try and run against it. In any event, I think you're exactly right.
And nothing but daylight ahead. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Well, they knew a lot of steps had to happen here. They got step 1, the touchdown. You need a 2-point conversion here, don't you?
You do, and as you continue to look ahead, if you're able to get that, somehow get the ball back and get another score, you have to go for 2 again. That's why teams are practicing multiple 2-point plays.
We saw that Super Bowl 51 with the Patriots getting a pair of big 2-point conversions. And the Cardinals have got it. So that should just about put it into this one. Now, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Drake. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 42-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Murray to throw. And he'll be pulled down as a penalty flag will rein in as well. And that would appear to be a face mask. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
2nd and 6.
2nd and 6 from the 10. Inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. On 3rd down, Drake. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
2 yards.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is indeed good. And that will bump the lead up to 11.
30.
Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it.